Hello everyone, welcome back to DIYFunVentures. It's Friday evening, and while I'm watching my fish, I decide to make a video about how I feed my fish, why I've chosen this method, and how I go about getting live food for them. Just like most fish keepers, I feed my fish with a mix of dry foods and frozen foods throughout the week. But on weekends, I treat them to live foods, freshly hatched brine shrimp and live blackworms. Brine shrimp are mostly for my guppy babies, even though all the adults like them too. The bigger fish, like my fire apistogramma, my catfish, and even my newts, they really like the blackworms. Depending on where you are, blackworms can be hard to get. In my city, for example, they're expensive and hard to find, and there's no way to get live baby brine shrimp locally at all. Live foods like brine shrimp and blackworms are highly nutritious. This not only promotes better growth and vibrant colors, but also stimulates natural hunting behaviors and mating. Hatching brine shrimp at home is quite simple. This all started about a year ago when I saw a bucket of salt at Petco. It was like $15. Uh, I mean, can't get a better deal than that. Instant ocean sea salt. You can see it on the screen. After I purchased this, I also did some research, and I went ahead and I purchased me a refractometer, as you can see on the screen. I use this to measure the salinity of the water. I mixed up a bunch of water, filled them up in these 1 gallon jugs. I also purchased these eggs. These are the best eggs you could buy. And I also purchased this DIY hatchery and did some changes to it. I added that little knob to it. Initially, it doesn't come with a knob, so when you fill it up with water, or when it's full with water, and then you try to actually move it somewhere, the water starts to just leak out of it. So I had to add that knob there, and this way I can control the airflow, and also when I detach the hose, I just close it and the water doesn't spill anywhere. So we fill this up. We'll fill up the hatchery with just the simple mix of salt that I did. The salt salinity is at 1020 gravity, and add the eggs to it. Close the top, put it in front of the light, and let it be for about 12 to 24 hours. I usually start collecting them within 12 to 16 hours because I noticed 12 hours is enough to hatch the eggs. So really quick about the eggs. Before I started this, initially when I started this, I bought different batches of eggs from different companies, and none of them hatched. No matter what I tried, after all the research I had precise temperature that it needs, precise salinity, bright lights, and those eggs would not hatch. I tried and tried and tried. But the eggs I use now, I purchased them about a year ago, and they have been hatching every time. There hasn't been a time that I didn't get any hatched brine shrimp. I will leave a link in the description if anyone wants to get brine shrimp. You can follow that link and purchase it from this company. They're so far, they've been great. I keep them in a fridge and they're just amazing. Anyway, back to the hatchery. As you can see, I'm putting the top on. Then I'm going to mix it up to make sure all the eggs that still stuck on the top get mixed up in the water. Add some extra air to it. Bring it closer to the light to make sure it's bright, and that light is pretty warm, so it keeps the water warm. But I believe it's supposed to be, I forget how high the temperature was supposed to be, but whatever the temperature is from the light is apparently enough. Then I made this little a box with the reflective side just to make it even brighter. I don't think this is necessary, but while I was testing out with my previous eggs and I was failing, I thought maybe it wasn't bright enough, so I made this. So I'm using it now. And plus it covers the light, so it's not so bright in my room. This is too close to my bedroom, and it's, you know, it's impossible to sleep with the sun in my room. So yeah, that's it, and we'll come back to this next morning. Now let's go to my worms. I got a batch of worms from a shop a while ago, and I keep them right here in my aquarium on the bottom here. It's a very well aerated tank, and I also change the water here once a week, so to keep it fresh, to keep the worms alive. And the night before, like on Friday night, I go ahead and I give them special food I made. This is spirulina infused paste I made, and I let the worms eat all of this spirulina infused food. And by morning, hopefully the worms are all infused with spirulina, and when I feed the fish, the worms are even more nutritious. So you see how I put that little thing I made straight in the water, and look at all the worms next to it, trying to have some of it. Here we go. Next morning, we can see the water is orange color. That means the eggs have hatched. This thing is full of now newly hatched baby brine shrimp, and I'm going to turn off the pump and unhook the hose. I close the knob so the water doesn't leak out of there. Now I'm going to filter this salt water and separate those baby brine shrimp from the eggs or egg pills, I guess. You can see those eggs are floating on the top of the water, and the baby brine shrimp are on the bottom, so I'm gonna just filter them out. I filter them out, and then I use a small pipette and I collect them and put them in the water. But before I feed my fish with the baby brine shrimp, first we'll give them the worms. I collect the worms with the turkey, I don't know, I forget that big thing that you use, big pipette. I collect the worms, I put them in these feeders, and I let my fish munch them. Some of the worms get eaten on the top, and the remaining ones end up on the ground where my newts and my catfish end up eating them. I do the same thing for my guppy aquariums. I give them some worms, and then I collect. I go back while they're eating the worms. I go back and I collect all those eggs, the baby brine shrimp, and use this little pipette and dump it in an aquarium. This aquarium also has a bunch of little baby guppies, so this is mostly for them, to feed them. And I also put a bunch of it in my guppy aquariums. So you can see now I have black worms infused with spirulina, and I also have baby brine shrimp floating all over the place, and all the fish, all the tiny fish, are munching on those. Now my newts, they know there is food, there is dinner time, so they're getting excited. So we're going to feed my newts with some thawed out krill. Fortunately I can't, or I don't have live krill for them, so frozen ones will have to suffice. You look at that newt right there. He is excited. He's looking for his food. And here's the krill. I'm going to squish it on the side of the window to make sure there is no air in it, so it actually doesn't float and goes to the bottom. There's a couple of pieces. And here we go. Both of the newts know there is food on the bottom here, and they came to find it. I don't know if newts are half blind or not. I don't know if they could see the food or they just smell it, but sometimes they bump their nose on it and they're like, "Ooh, here it is," and they just quickly swallow it. You'll see right now. They're like sniffing around, but they don't know where the food is. And there he goes. I think he figured it out. Nope. Yeah, they know it's right there, and there he goes. That guy swallows one piece, and then his buddy is about to go find another piece and swallow that. Oh, he missed, and there he goes. Look at all that brine shrimp just floating all over the place. Looks like my aquarium is dirty. And here is my guppy tank, one of my guppy tanks, full of brine shrimp floating, and there's a bunch of babies in here and shrimp, so they love all this. And here's my other guppy tank, also full of brine shrimp and a bunch of worms in a feeder. And that's it with this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more videos in the future. Thank you, bye bye, and have a good day.